Tonight on News 5 Live, another blackout just before midday lasted almost 6 hours. BEL says load shedding has become necessary to maintain the stability of the grid. Developer David Gegg says he did not question Contreras' ministerial authority. And in this week's episode of Belize on Real, a success story in vocational training. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together. $13,835,700 eggs are eaten by tourists each year, fueling our thriving economy. Tourism means business.
Motorcycles are much smaller than vehicles, which makes it difficult to judge how fast they are going and difficult to see on the road. Motorists often miss oncoming motorcycles and bikes, which can have deadly consequences for riders. Avoid distractions while driving. Stay focused on the road. When making a turn, look once for vehicles and pedestrians, and look twice for motorcycles and bikes. Again, it is look once, look twice, think bike. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
ITSAT STEAM Academy is a four-year government high school that does focus on science, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics, which is called STEAM.
Before this, I've been to other high schools or private schools, and just being here feels so much more different. But my experience with STEAM in a whole, I love it.
ITSAT STEAM Academy, we are inclusive.
Females in robotics, I think that we could have a lot of success.
This has been the best experience school life I've ever had. It brings out your creative and innovative side in almost all subjects. In fact, in all subjects.
My experience at ITSAT STEAM Academy is stunning.
Our students will, I hope, tell you that they are happy to be here, because from the moment they set foot in the campus in the morning to the moment they leave, they're engaged in interesting activities which have real meaning to their lives. And by doing this, the learning is much deeper, more effective and long-lasting.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, May 9th. I am Sabrina Daly. Tonight we begin the news with a recurrent issue that has become a serious does not have access to a generator. Power outage. Earlier today, parts of the country experienced a power outage. It lasted almost 6 hours. But while Belize Electricity Limited has reasoned that load shedding, which is even distribution of the power outages, is necessary to maintain the stability of the national grid, it did not offer a reason for the extended blackout. The outage was beyond annoying, especially for people whose job sites and homes are not equipped with generators to beat the heat. BEL has not given notices of the continuous load shedding, which suggests that the outages are not planned. It mentioned in a notice that its teams continue to work to restore power with the help of its Westlake gas turbine. Prime Minister John Briceño says he will be northbound on Saturday to meet with CFE representatives in Cancun, Mexico.
BL's mandate is transmission and distribution. And I know that in many instances BL was trying to also do energy, to produce energy, but that's not their mandate. What has failed is the process previously in the previous government with the PUC, and I know that PUC and the BL have always been having the struggle. And my message to both of them have been, listen, we have to stop this foolishness and we need to be able to work together. And I believe that we're seeing that now. The PUC, BL, and the Ministry of Energy all have to be able to work together. So on Saturday, after the funeral for the late Honorable Michael Spat, then I'll have to be able to fly to Cancun to be able to meet with AMLO and his officials from CFE to see how, if they can be able to stop the rollouts or the blackouts in Belize. As the CEO of BL has explained, we have 2 engines that are going to be commissioned. One supposed to be this week, which is about 30 megawatts. And once we do that, then we could be able to hold our own. Fortunately, we had already bought a 21 megawatts that is already stationed in San Pedro that should be commissioned by the end of the month. Once we have that, that will give us a capacity of about 51 megawatts of electricity. It means then that if CFE would need to cut Belize, these generators could take over without anybody losing electricity. And then once CFE then can provide for back again to us, then we shut down these engines and get from Mexico. I know some people say, well, why will you buy for the Mexicans? Well, we buy for the Mexicans because it is cheaper than using the diesel engines. So we have a plan. I understand the frustration, and myself get upset when my house is in blackout, because my house gets blackout too, by the way. We do. I don't have a generator. I don't have a generator. So I understand the frustration, and it has a direct impact on all the work that we've done these 3 years in the economy, the tourism, call centers, in agriculture, in production, so we cannot afford this.
The Prime Minister said that the country is experiencing power outages because of the rapid rate of the country's growth. He described it as being victims of our own success.
BL projected the level of energy that we're using, supposed to be, we would have been using it in 2028. We are a victim of our own success. The economy has grown so fast that now that we're consuming so much energy for 2028 in 2024, and that is why we're recording this. But no excuses. We have to make sure to fix it. Our government, we fix problems.
Coming up, businessman Sanjay Hochandani says he sold land to Portico Enterprise.
Well, sir, I really did go through some stress with my barber. This man here, they push my hairline way back to the 90s.
Sure.
People, they call me BB Buck Farid now.
So I got a problem, right? I just do this photo shoot, and I want the best photo shoot. But somebody don't want me to post it up. I just tired of this, man.
I don't want to tell her to catch me on my way. I stopped at the shop and tell the lady I want $5 tacos. You could imagine when you give me? No. Paper.
What the your problem?
Honestly, life good for me over here. I just upgraded to the Digi1 Elite. I have unlimited postpaid plans, Digi TV, free home phone, and the fastest home internet.
I going to upgrade mine now.
Last year, around the same time, when the country was hit by an energy crisis, Briceño admitted he and his government knew well in advance it was coming.
This problem did not arise now. This was coming from before. And whenever I speak with the CEO of BL, he was telling me, I've been alerting from before that this problem is coming.
Yet they did nothing to avert it and ensure that BEL has secure, adequate and reliable sources of power.
So CFE, Comisión de Electricidad Federal, said to us, to BL, and said, Warren, said, listen, if this thing continues, we are going to be short. And so we may have to consider cutting you for a short while.
1 year later, the same energy crisis is back again, and they still have not done anything to address it. Back then, Briceño even conceded the energy crisis resulted from the lack of vision and foresight by his own government.
The problem, again, is a lack of vision and foresight from the side of the government, in the sense that the government, a long time ago, should have stepped in, because we know that there's this feud between BEL and PUC.
Nothing has changed, and with this government, nothing ever will.
warring cartels, narco activity cartels. Every zone doesn't have narco activity occurring. The Compo acknowledge that there are operatives in the country.
We know that we do have operatives in Belize who are on the side of the cartels. We know that.
Tell you that high officials in the People's United Party are responsible for the narco infiltration in the North.
Is to make sure that we target those persons who we believe are operating in Belize for the cartels. And I'll leave it at that.
Commissioner Williams, is one of these operatives a cabinet minister, commonly referred to as the narco minister?
This is the reality of our country. The executions will continue. We are a narco state.
As you heard last night, developer David Gegg said that someone from the previous government solicited campaign financing from him prior to the 2020 general elections and informed him via message that it would be the requirement for him to receive environmental clearance for the project. Gegg said that he did not facilitate the stipulation. But after having several meetings with the relevant parties, he felt certain that the project would materialize and hired the law firm of Morales Parafit to draft up the definitive agreement.
Having provided all the necessary documents to all the relevant parties and with our environmental studies nearing completion, and having no reason to believe that they would not pass muster, we retained the services of the firm of Morales Parafit LLP as a definitive agreement was now needed. That firm was recommended to me as a firm that had experience with the drafting and negotiating of agreements with the government. I, at that time, instructed Mr. David Morales to draft the definitive agreement in conjunction with the attorneys from Vocational in the Netherlands. After several months, and after amendments were made by the relevant parties, the draft definitive agreement was forwarded on June 1st, 2021 to Ministers Panton, Parafit, and Contreras.
Gegg said he did not think that Contreras, an agent of the state, needed approval from any other minister of government, certainly not Panton, who was a junior minister, or the former Attorney General Michael Parafit, who was an unselected or unelected minister, in order to sign the agreement. But Gegg said the agreement would not be signed until Portico had obtained environmental clearance, which his attorney indicated was possible.
I consulted with Mr. Morales, who advised that this was doable, and he proceeded to amend the agreement. He sent it to me, and I in turn shared it with Minister Contreras. Several days later, I was told that the signing of the definitive agreement would be on October 1st, 2020 in Belmopan. I attended that meeting and the document was signed. I know that the question being posed is whether Minister Contreras could have signed that agreement. I must say that I was not aware of any protocols or procedures which the government at the time may have had. But I knew that he was the substantive minister appointed by the Governor General. He was an agent of the state. In my view, he did not need permission from either Mrs. Tega Panton, a junior minister, or Michael Parafit, an unelected minister, especially as those persons were clearly and openly supporting other competing interests.
The first witness to appear during yesterday's Senate inquiry proceeding was Sanjay Hochandani, a resident of Belize City who said that he was the director of several companies that deal with real estate business. He opened with a prepared statement. Hochandani refused to answer many of the questions that were asked on the advice of his attorney. His reason for refusing to answer was, quote, "It does not relate to the terms of reference of the inquiry." End quote.
Are you familiar with the company Keystar Limited?
Yes.
Fire Sky Limited?
Yes.
Vision Project Limited?
Yes.
Alkaline Limited?
Yes.
Building Blocks Limited?
Yes.
Kill Switch Limited?
Yes.
Build Zone Limited?
Yes.
Are you a director of any of those companies or all of those companies?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer your question as it does not relate to the terms of reference.
Are you a shareholder of those companies?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer your question as it does not relate to the terms of reference.
At the start of the proceedings during Wednesday's Senate inquiry, Committee Chair Senator Janelle Chinona warned the witness that if they are deemed responsible for defamation, libel, or slander of any of the committee members, they can and will be dealt with to the full extent of the law. Chinona said that in past proceedings, members of the committee were being character assassinated. She said that this would not be tolerated going forward.
I also take this opportunity on behalf of the committee to highlight to any witnesses, anyone in writing or verbal that would seek to defame, slander, or libel any member of this committee. The committee will not be bullied or intimidated into not using its powers to ensure that that does not happen, and that if it does happen, that we will take every action empowered under the law to defend itself against any such accusations.
While Hutchandani initially refused to state his relation to the 9 companies, he later revealed that he is the director of the companies and that the companies sold land to Portico Enterprise. Upon checking with his legal advisor, the businessman later admitted to Senator Bevington Cowell that his companies had sold lands to the developers of the Portico project.
Mr. Sanjay, with all due respect, these are general questions that I'm asking. Are you familiar with Portico Enterprise Limited?
I'm familiar with the company.
Sorry?
Yes, I am familiar.
Can you elaborate on your familiarity with the company?
No, I'm familiar with what's in the public knowledge.
Can you speak in the mic? I can't
Sorry,
hear you.
I'm just familiar with what's in the public knowledge.
Can you explain what is that, sir? The public knowledge?
That they're trying to build a port.
You're trying to build a port. Have you had any encounter with any directors of the said company?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer your question as it does not relate to the terms of reference.
Again, sir, with all due respect, these are general questions I'm asking.
I have to go based on the advice.
Mr. Sanjay, we have a document here. You said earlier that you were familiar with Keystar Limited, Fire Sky Limited, Vision Project Limited, Alkaline Limited, Building Blocks Limited, Kill Switch Limited, and Build Zone Limited. What is your familiarity with these companies?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer your question as it does not relate to the terms of reference.
Are you familiar with Vision Project Limited?
Sorry? Yes.
Mr. Sanjay, the chair just gave you a document which state the names of these companies. And this document is saying that you're director to these companies. Can you confirm or deny that?
Yes.
The reason we have you here today is because we believe that you can assist us, the committee, the Senate, and the people of Belize, to understand how Portico, an interested party in our country that wanted to invest in a cruise port. And as you're aware, any development as such would need lands, seabed for it to operate. And this document is saying that Keystar Limited, which you confirmed to us that you are a director to the said company, and this document is saying that Keystar Limited and the other companies sold land to Portico Enterprise Limited. As the director of these companies, are you aware that lands were sold to Portico Enterprise Limited?
All this could be verified at the lands registry. It's public records.
As the director, sir, can you not assist us to verify it? On the top right, there is a name, Sanjay Hatonjani, and it has a signature in it. Can you confirm that that is your signature?
Yes. I can confirm that's my signature.
And if you also want to look at that document, sir, that is a document from the Lands Department that we got, that Keystar Limited sold this parcel of land for $15,000 on the date that is marked on this document. And that is synchronizing with the document that we were showing you earlier. Can you confirm then that your company, Keystar Limited, sold 50.1 acres of land to Portico Enterprise Limited?
If it's in an official document, I have no reason to doubt it.
Sorry, can you?
If it's in an official document, I have no reason to doubt it.
It is this,
So
and
I have
that's
no
the reason,
reason to
sir, I'm
doubt.
asking you to verify if that is the case, that your company, Keystar Limited, sold 50.1 acres of land to Portico Enterprise Limited.
Yes.
After the break, vocational training transformed my life for the better. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
This Mother's Day, give that special mom in your life the gift of rebirth by renovating and redefining that special space. With some help from Brothers Abet, you can turn any room into mom's special place. That's why we're offering the mother load of discounts all month with 15 to 30% off all things Moen, 20% off Penta Decon paint, and 25% off Valspar and Dutch Boy paints. 15% off Sunlight windows and doors, 20% off mirrors and Eureka vats, and much more deals on our clearance display. So this Mother's Day, give mom the gift she truly deserves from Brothers Habet. Come in or reach out to us today. Happy Mother's Day to all the super moms out there.
100 Media House Plaza Publica reported that much of the region's smuggled cigarettes, particularly ones from Asia, are coming out of Corozal and Benque-free zones. The report also says that these smuggling generates massive funding for organized crime.
Minister Mai, you are the minister responsible for the free zones. Everyone knows that cigarette smuggling through the free zone is a big racket. But now the rest of Central America is blaming Belize for funding and fueling organized crime. Minister Mai, you must face the nation. Tell us you are not aware that cigarette smuggling through the free zone is funding organized crime. Even your cabinet colleague, Minister Musa, admits that activity in the free zone is connected to the cartel.
When you look at the operations of the cartel operations in Quintana Roo, there are several different layers to that. All of these various trades, cross-border trades, would result in some sort of collaboration with local networks, and that is our responsibility to ensure that we are targeting these individuals locally who are or may be networked along with the cartels.
Minister Mai, will you allow this to go on? Will you wait until the government of the United States demands answers from the Prime Minister and sanctions Belize?
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
28-year-old Yadimir Torres took to construction work 10 years ago after dropping out of college because his parents were unable to afford his tuition. His mother then suggested that he enroll at the Tubal Trade and Vocational Institute to learn a trade. His willingness to sign up and complete the electrical course changed the trajectory of his life and the lives of those employed by him. In tonight's installment of Belize on Real, we take a look at how vocational training transformed this young man's life. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
28-year-old Yadimir Torres owns and manages Torres Electrical and Air Conditioning in Guinea Grass Village. He has been running his own electrical business for the past 7 years. At 18 years old, working construction, Torres took up his mother's advice to learn a trade at the Tubal Trade and Vocational Institute.
Before I entered Tubal, I was going to Sixth Farm, and my mother and stepfather were sending me to Sixth Farm, and they couldn't afford to finish paying the tuition, right? It was kind of difficult for us because it was 9 of us, right?
Left without a choice, Torres dropped out of Sixth Farm and found a job working construction. It was the only field of work he could find with a high school diploma. His mother called him while he was laboring in the heat of the day and suggested that he sign up with the Tubal Trade and Vocational Institute.
It was nearly the time for registration, and we went to Tubal. Me and my mom went to Tubal, and we spoke with Mr. Bailey and Miss Bailey, and they gave me that opportunity like they gave a lot of students and anyone out there, right?
He came here, he was about 18 years old, so we were scared of taking him in. And I said, well, we'll give you a chance, but unless you don't give us any problems.
Lyndon Bailey, the director of Tubal Trade and Vocational Institute, says Torres entered the institution with a mindset on learning a trade. He quickly excelled and completed the 2-year electrical program in just 1 year.
He's one of our excellent students, one of our role models for Tubal Trade and Vocational Institute.
From when I was small, my mom told me that I was very destructive with toys and wanted to break it in parts and find out what's inside, and that was always me. And even growing up, I would want to know, like, breaking down the the flashlight and see why it wasn't working. So I said, well, take the electrical trade, right?
It was a decision that would change Torres's life. He interned with an electrical company as part of his program at Tubal. 1 week into his internship, he received a job offer due to his exceptional performance. But Torres informed the company that he wanted to complete his training before accepting the offer. After graduating from the institute as valedictorian, Yadomir accepted the job offer and worked with that company for 2 years.
What they do is they do theory in the morning and practical in the afternoon. And while I was there, I can tell you of experience, there are students that learn it theoretically and some that learn it practically. So that's a big advantage for some of them. They learned it, like you said, hands-on, doing, moving things. Some of them don't grasp it theoretically. But there are students that grasp it theoretically and practically. And the theory part is very important as well, because when it comes to taking out your license and doing paperwork and so forth, that assists you a lot because you need to do load calculations and so forth for you to send in paperwork to the Public Utility Commission.
People say that vocational education is for the slow ones, but it's not for the slow one. Vocational education is right up there with academic, because you have to teach them. They have a part of it is academic, because you have to know the notes and the different.
That's what Mr. Torres told me.
Yeah, you have to know the different connection and everything, and you have to do paperwork.
And paperwork is what Torres spends a lot of his time doing now. 7 years ago, he acquired his electrician's license and started his own electrical company. At first, he had a few jobs that were long distances apart.
That was the most difficult part. Starting was the most difficult part. I started walking.
He later acquired a motorbike to get to his clients. Now, Torres's company owns 2 trucks, the necessary equipment, and provides employment to 3 electricians, one of whom was also trained at Tubal. Life has come full circle for Torres, as he now takes on interns from the institute.
From the beginning, that's what I visioned. I visioned that I wanted workers, but I didn't want to be the boss. I wanted to be the leader, right? I wanted to lead the team, because I already have boss, and it's not nice. Being a boss, it's different from being a leader. You come out here in the field, seeing what they're doing, doing it as well, because you are in that shoes, and you don't want to stop being in that shoes, because once you love doing it, then you will do it, and you want to do it every day.
If you would go back and have a choice as to whether to do this or not do this, would you still make the same decision to do it?
Oh man, I will do it 10 times more, because you know what? Tubal is a school where, you know, when you're young, you don't have your mind fully develop what you want to do. So when you come here, you have time to think and to see whether if you want to do a trade or you want to go into academic. And many times people come because they love the trade.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Attorney Orson O.J. Elrington returned to court on Wednesday for a matter in which he is accused of sexual assault, stemming from an incident that occurred back in January. When the matter was called up at 9 a.m., Elrington was absent, despite the fact that his attorneys, senior counsel Hubert Elrington and Norman Rodriguez, were present. When he arrived half an hour later, Elrington apologized to the court. DTP Cheryl Lynn Vidal appeared on behalf of the Crown and informed the court that she was seeking an adjournment for May 30th. Following the adjournment, Attorney Rodriguez spoke with the court reporter.
Today was set for the service of disclosure. The prosecution is not ready with that, so Madam DPP requested a short adjournment to the 30th of May, when the disclosure will be served on us or our client. That's basically what happened today in court.
I know that on the first arraignment, there was a different prosecution from this prosecution. Again, indication that the prosecutor was
There was no indication, but Madam is chief when it comes to prosecution, so she can appear at any time, and that is a part of the process that we must abide by.
What's the deadline for
It's 8 weeks, 2 months, pursuant to the criminal procedure rule.
36-year-old Walton Banner, a police inspector, appeared before the court today in the presence of attorney Ronald Gonzalez to answer to a charge of obstruction. It is the second time he is appearing before the lower court on a similar offense. On April 1st, it was alleged that Banner intervened when Corporal Shane Cabral attempted to arrest Julian Reynolds at the Castleton racetrack in Bourleboom Village. When he subsequently appeared before a senior magistrate, Banner pleaded not guilty and was offered bail in the sum of $1,000 plus one surety of the same amount. Earlier today, he sought an adjournment, which the magistrate granted. He is due back in court on June 7th. On Friday, a family of 13 in Trio Village was left without a home after a fire destroyed the building completely. The afternoon, around 2:30 p.m., 33-year-old Yuri Chuk, her sister, mother, and 10 children were at home when a burning fly repellent started a fire somewhere in the house. Yuri Chuk, who was inside at the time of the fire, spoke with us today about the incident.
You see, when they start to burn the thing, like I think that's a ban. I don't know that what, but them they just catch fire. Then when I see the hose, we there inside. When we see the ashes, they drop inside. Then when we come outside, and my mom drop, and my mom come out running outside, and she drop, and we see, and we hose don't catch fire.
Did anyone get injured?
No, ma'am.
Nobody got hurt. Okay.
No.
And what about, all of your belongings? Were you able to save anything?
We never save nothing, and only we for we kitchen stuff and nothing. We never save nothing. But only we paper we try to take it out because that's important. We document.
So how many people were in the house at the time?
Only 10.
10 people, and you all made it out safely.
Kids there with my mom because then I can't get in with the fire because them kids could get burned. That house we need it because I can't stay with my kids with no house, and we can't stay with no people because you heard we not got no house, and I not got nobody for help me. Because if my family alive, maybe we try fix we house, but we not got nobody else now. So my papa passed away and my husband passed away.
Okay.
That I need that my house.
Chuck and her family can be reached at the number 665-8557. When we return, putting an end to teen pregnancy in Belize.
In May, make Benny's your one-stop shop for appliances. We have Sankey refrigerators, stoves, microwaves, washers and dryers, freezers, smart TVs, and so much more for up to 19% off. Get amazing deals for mom and appliances all May long, and don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase to be a part of our Homecation raffle to win $10,000 in December. Benny's, quality and savings.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
My name is Leomar Langzert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch.
What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer. With these online that Belize Bank offered is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
One Honduran media house, Plaza Publica, reported that much of the region's smuggled cigarettes, particularly ones from Asia, are coming out of Corozal and Benque-free zones. The report also says that these smuggling generates massive funding for organized crime.
Minister Mai, you are the minister responsible for the free zones. Everyone knows that cigarette smuggling through the free zone is a big racket. But now the rest of Central America is blaming Belize for funding and fueling organized crime. Minister Mai, you must face the nation. Tell us you are not aware that cigarette smuggling through the free zone is funding organized crime. Even your cabinet colleague, Minister Musa, admits that activity in the free zone is connected to the cartel.
When you look at the operations of the cartel operations in Quintana Roo, there are several different layers to that. All of these various trades, cross-border trades, would result in some sort of collaboration with local networks, and that is our responsibility to ensure that we are targeting these individuals locally who are or may be networked along with the cartels.
Minister Mai, will you allow this to go on? Will you wait until the government of the United States demands answers from the Prime Minister and sanctions Belize?
For years, adolescent pregnancy has been an issue that Belize has been trying to reduce in vulnerable communities. Despite attempts made to increase use of contraceptive methods, Belize continues to have one of the lowest usages, with a high adolescent birth rate. This year, a new program is being implemented to counteract the issue. The Leave No One Behind, the reduction of adolescent pregnancy in the Afro-descendant, Creole, Garifuna, and Miskito peoples of the Garifuna coast of Central America, is being implemented in Belize through the United Nations Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency. Today, a workshop was held with various organizations to bring attention to the data and discuss the implementation of this initiative. News 5's Brittany Gordon reports.
Belize's adolescent pregnancy rate continues to be one of the highest in Latin America and the Caribbean region. Despite the Ministry of Health's efforts to provide contraception, adolescent usage is the lowest among Belizean women, and they have the highest unmet need for family planning. Around 11% of Belize's adolescent girls aged 15 to 19 years have had a baby. As concern over this issue increases, the need for intervention became more apparent. Thus, a program was launched to proactively reduce the numbers. Head of Office for the United Nations Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency in Belize, Tisa Grant, spoke to us about the integration of this program.
This workshop is a part of one aspect of a regional project being implemented in Central America. The project is funded by the Duchy of Luxembourg. It's called Leave No One Behind, the reduction of adolescent pregnancy in the Afro-descendant, Creole, Garifuna, Miskito peoples of the Caribbean coast of Central America. So it's a very long name, but essentially the project aims to reduce adolescent pregnancy in select countries in Central America. Belize is one of the recipients of funding for this project. And so here in country, we are implementing in 3 districts, Toledo, Sand Creek, and Belize districts.
A According to data from the United Nations Population Fund, teen mothers are more likely to drop out of school, live in poor housing conditions, and be unemployed or in low-paid employment. As a result, their children are more likely to live in poverty, become involved in crime, or abuse drugs and alcohol. At the workshop, stakeholders were able to gather and discuss the impact of teen pregnancy, analyze data, and discuss the roadmap for implementing solutions in the country.
We felt that it was important to have a wide cross-section of stakeholders, particularly those who work in the response to reducing adolescent pregnancy, but also organizations that work with young people in general. So we've invited the Ministry of Health, we have civil society organizations like BFLA, we have POWA, we have YWCA, we have a long list of civil society organizations and government representatives from the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, and if I start listing, I may miss one of them. So it was really about having a wide cross-section of stakeholders that would be able to learn about this tool that was developed by UNFPA, by our Latin America and Caribbean Regional Office. The tool is called an Impact Evaluation Goal Model. And what it aims to do is to assess the impact of policies on the reduction of adolescent pregnancy and alternatives that would allow for access to services, but also access to information such as sexuality education and so forth.
Southern Belize is highly affected by adolescent pregnancy. Vice President of the National Garifuna Council, Efushina Efunyemi, said that the goal is to increase access to resources, sexual education, and guidance for young women. The project emphasizes a proactive approach to preventing these unplanned pregnancies.
If you were able to be a part of some of the data that was shared, we know that a lot of our population, Garifuna young persons in Stann Creek district specifically, are among the highest when it comes to the rates of adolescent pregnancies in the country. And so all the ripple effects of that, all the issues we have in terms of nutrition, maternal health, when you look at dropout rates, you look at other social issues that are related to children having children or young people having children, we are impacted by those in our communities. And so it's important for us to know what the data is saying so that that can inform the activities that we do, the kinds of interventions that we can have as an organization, because we know that when it comes to educating our community, we have an important role to play as an organization, as the National Garifuna Council. So
she said that through the spread of data, organizations will be able to accurately determine how much resources are needed in each community.
I'm very pleased to have been given the opportunity to be in this gathering, to get this information, and also to learn of the information system that's going to be implemented, because it means that we can input that data and get some feedback on what are the projections if we're able to provide contraceptive methods to our population so that we don't have young people having children anymore, that they are able to delay that until they are adults, until they have already established themselves and can actually take care of themselves and a family. Then we need to know what all we need to do, how many IUDs or how many implants, whatever it is that they need as a contraceptive method, what do they need to use so that we don't have 15 to 19-year-olds having children.
Gilda McKenzie of the Productive Organization of Women in Action said that sessions like this assist organizations on their mission to ensure the safety and well-being of women in the country.
The purpose that I'm here today, a part of the impact goal estimation model, is to basically learn more about the project as we are here to advocate for our community. We work along with women and girls advocacy programs. We do community outreach, so it's really nice to be a part of today's session for adolescent health. We also talk about pregnancy within the age group as well. We wanted to ensure that we are spreading awareness about the situation. We also want to ensure that we are properly educating our women and girls in our community as well.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
This morning at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, members of the Rotary Club Sunrise, Quartz Belize, and KHMH staff were present for the opening of a lactation lounge, where mothers and their newborns will be able to breastfeed in comfort. The room was renovated by members of the Rotary and furnished with various appliances by Quartz. Baby-friendly hospitals are essential for supporting breastfeeding and promoting the health of newborns and their mothers. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
Breastfeeding is not simply a lifestyle decision. It is an investment in health for both baby and mother. Breast milk contains the perfect balance of nutrients, is easily digested, and its composition changes to meet the baby's needs, especially during the first month of life. At the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, a room has been furnished with all the amenities necessary for a mother and her newborn to bond.
In a lot of cases, depending on the type of delivery that the mothers have, they breastfeed their babies in the bed, in their beds or at the bedside. However, some are not new mothers, some are already lactating mothers. We have staff that are lactating mothers. So it's really to provide an environment where anybody that comes to the hospital needs to breastfeed or to extract milk, they have a safe space to do that. And so this is what that lounge will serve as.
Baby-friendly hospitals allow for early initiation of breastfeeding and encourage immediate and uninterrupted skin-to-skin contact after birth. Breastfeeding benefits mothers by reducing the risk of high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, ovarian cancer, and breast cancer. As part of its community outreach initiative, Rotary Club of Belize Sunrise saw the importance of creating a lactation lounge at the KHMH based on a particular need.
One of our fellow Rotarians, Dr. Selma Bermudez, is actually an epidemiologist here at the hospital. She was aware of the situation with the room at the time and that the hospital was in need of assistance in renovating it. She brought the project to the club. Our service projects committee evaluated the potential project. One of the areas of focus for Rotary is maternal and child health, so we saw it fitting that it was a project that our club should partner on.
Rotary Sunrise, in bringing the project to life, turned to Quartz Belize for assistance. Its parent company, Unicomer, took advantage of the opportunity and donated furniture and appliance.
We have recliners. We want mom to be very comfortable, and this is the ideal time. It's Mother's Day, so I'm so happy that this is launched during Mother's Day. We have recliners that our new moms just went through a whole lot. They went through 9 months and now their bodies have gone through a lot. We want them to be comfortable. So we have some comfortable seating arrangements with the recliners. We also have a fridge that we donated as well. We want to keep the breast milk cool because they will have more breast milk. And then we have baby gear. We see the need for it for new moms and the importance of breastfeeding in the first formative years of a child's life. And we said, definitely, we'd like to be a part of this.
Baby-friendly hospitals are essential for supporting breastfeeding and promoting the health of newborns and mothers. The Baby-Friendly Hospital Initiative was launched by UNICEF and the World Health Organization. The Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital was officially recognized as a baby-friendly hospital in 2008.
Since then, we have been evaluated externally and every 2 years to ensure that we're meeting the international standards. And one of those is to have a lactation area. We did have one before, but it was not as nice as this, and so we are extremely grateful. This is very comfortable, and it will facilitate both patients and staff if they need to either extract milk or breastfeed.
This initiative is not just about improving breastfeeding rates, it's about ensuring that all aspects of care for mothers and babies are optimized to promote health and well-being from the start. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
Up next, Belkin Bridge replacement is urgent, yet still no money to begin works.
Every day, we access energy for cooling, lighting, and powering our electrical appliances and devices at work and at home. During cooler months, we rely less on cooling appliances such as fans and air conditioners. However, during warmer months, as the temperature and humidity rises, we use more energy to cool our spaces, and our appliances and electrical devices work harder than they do during the rest of the year. When the months become hotter, let's all practice energy conservation. Here are a few changes that you can make to manage your energy use. Check that all appliances and electrical devices are working efficiently. Turn lights off when not in the room. Unplug chargers, appliances when not in use. Turn off fans and TVs. Use energy-saving light bulbs such as LEDs. And look for the Energy Star products when purchasing appliances and electrical devices. These easy changes can reduce energy use and costs. You can also monitor your energy use during the month by reading your meter and calculating the reading using BEL's bill calculator on our mobile app or by visiting our website. Let's all save energy.
Warring cartels, narco activity cartels. Every zone doesn't have narco activity occurring. The Compo acknowledge that there are operatives in the country.
We know that we do have operatives in Belize who are on the side of the cartels. We know that.
Tell you that high officials in the People's United Party are responsible for the narco infiltration in the north.
Is to make sure that we target those persons who we believe are operating in Belize for the cartels. And I'll leave it at that.
Commissioner Williams, is one of these operatives a cabinet minister, commonly referred to as the narco minister?
This is the reality of our country. The executions will continue. We are a narco state.
Hi, my name is Leah Mangar, and I am currently the Administrative Assistant at Yasche Conservation Trust here in beautiful Punta Gorda. I received the Social Security Board Scholarship in the year of 2021. After I was told that I was a successful recipient of this scholarship, I was very grateful. This scholarship has assisted me in various ways. Firstly, it relieved me of financial constraints. So that was the main obstacle that was keeping me back. But receiving this scholarship allowed me to gain the skills and the knowledge that I needed to attain the job that I currently have. I would just encourage you all to apply to the scholarship, and the process is very, very easy. You will find a link and it will direct you to everything that you need in order to submit your application. And once you submit it, pray and just hope for the best, because you just will never know if you can get it.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
During his visit with the President of Mexico, Prime Minister John Briceño also discussed the possibility of the Tren Maya project, including a closer stop to Belize. PM Briceño says this would increase the number of tourists coming into Belize, while establishing a more efficient mode to transport goods. Here's what he told us.
That's what we're working. That was also a part of the meeting that we had yesterday. And on Saturday, we are going to meet one of the... You see, Tren Maya is not built only by the government. A part of it is by the army, and other parts or tramos or sections. They're being built by the private sector. There's a group that built it, that's working in this area, and also will be working with the free zone in Chetumal. The CEO of that company will also be at this meeting. And so that's one of the meetings that we're going to have with them to see how we can get the Tren Maya, about a little over 3 miles, to be able to connect to our border. Ideally, what we want to do is to bring it to the border, set up the facilities, so and then the tourists get to the border and then come into Belize. And also products. You no longer have to depend only on transport only by ship. You can transport by train. And the Tren Maya connects you all the way to Canada. So it opens up a whole new area for transportation of goods and products for Belize. So, and then after that, then the next step is then to do a study as to how we could get it probably to Belize City or somewhere in the country.
The Ministry of Finance is yet to locate the funds needed to replace the Belcan Bridge, though it remains in a state of disrepair. A study done on the bridge by the Ministry of Infrastructure, Development and Housing found that the bridge needs urgent replacement. So what is the holdup? Well, the Minister of Infrastructure Development, Julius Espat, says it is now out of his hands. On Wednesday, he told us that he has no clue what the plan is.
Again, you're dealing with another ministry. I have no clue as to what is in their plans as when it pertains to giving us the budget. We have done our job. Our job is to analyze the structures, to alert them as to the emergent need of replacing it. We have done the feasibility study, we have done the design, we have secured the loan. It's up to the Ministry of Finance to make the final decision, and I have no real input in that.
So this can't be news to you. I'm sure you would get updates and information as time passes.
That's gossip. I don't deal with gossip. I deal with what decisions are made in cabinet.
So you are basically still waiting for a response after doing the
From
study?
day one, we are waiting for a response. But it's not our decision. Remember, we are service providers. And if the allocation is given to us, the work will start immediately. If they believe that there are other priorities, then I have to respect that.
Who pushes and presses this as a priority given the current state of the bridge?
I do, because I depend on the technical expertise given to me by our professional staff, by international lending institutions that also have seen a need. And so we are doing our job. And if you fault me for that and you want to call it emotional or that I lobby too much or I'm too passionate about it, well, that's fine. But I do what is given to me, and the Prime Minister has given me an opportunity to serve as a minister, as Ministry of Infrastructure Development, and we do it to the best of our ability.
On Wednesday, the government of Belize celebrated the full completion of the Philip Gosen Highway and Remate Bypass upgrading project. According to the Briceño administration, the project has positively impacted the lives of approximately 45,000 Belizeans in the Corozal, Orange Walk, and Belize districts. The Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing is being hailed for saving $15 million on the project while completing it before its deadline. The inauguration marks the end of a 3-year, $93 million project. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
The Remate Bypass upgrading project has been completed. The $93 million road was officially inaugurated at a ceremony on Wednesday afternoon. Prime Minister John Briceño was present at the event.
Why is this road important? Well, first of all, it connects us internationally to Mexico. Secondly, it's about agriculture, that all the products that are being produced in the north know that they can use this road. But also because it connects to Mexico, and now we're starting to export more into Mexico, cattle, coconuts, shrimp, and we're looking at exporting other products. It plays a significant role for us to be able to compete internationally. Most importantly, for the people that live in this area, in San Pedro and Pachacan and the rest of the villages, these people for decades and decades have been suffering the dust or the mud, and it had made their lives extremely difficult. And so I'm very happy for them, and I know that they're very excited about it.
PM Briceño was accompanied by 6 other ministers who were there to cut the ribbon, declaring the bypass officially opened. Among them was the area representative for Orange Walk South and the Minister of Agriculture, Jose Abelardo May. He spoke on the benefit of the road to the sugar industry.
It takes us now from here to the outlet 11 minutes. It take Bribri like 5, but it take me 11 minutes. If I were to go through Corozal Town, from here to there is 20 minutes. And from there to the border is another 12-15 minutes. So time saving. Our cane trucks leave from Pachacan with 15-20 tons of sugar cane, with all lights working, everything they blink, everything they command, the hand they blow. And when you run through that road and you get on the highway and the guys in blue stop you and they have to put on a signal, it doesn't work. And you get a ticket for that. Not to mention, you know how much it costs to transport sugar cane from Pachacan to Orange Walk, no Prime Minister? It costs $31 from San Roman to Orange Walk. Here, it costs like $35. Cut, load, and transport sugar cane. $35. And then pay you $60. It's at $70. Half of it goes into the transportation. The highest cost. This will significantly contribute to lowering the cost of transporting sugarcane.
Funding for the project came in part as a $37 million grant from the United Kingdom, Caribbean Infrastructure Partnership Fund, and a loan from the Caribbean Development Bank.
What I love most about this project is it epitomizes how CDB likes to work, which is in partnership with some of our best partners. And one of those here is the United Kingdom Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, FCDO for short, represented by Kate Reynolds today. So we're really proud to be here, to be cutting the ribbon to open up this road.
On behalf of the UK government, I express my heartiest congratulations to the Prime Minister and his government, especially those in the Ministry of Infrastructure, Development and Housing, and the Project Execution Unit for their hard work to ensure that this project was completed within budget and inside the revised timeframe.
Minister of Infrastructure, Development and Housing, Julius Espat, says rural communities are close to his heart because he's a representative of a rural area. As a result, he understood the need for this upgrade and the impact it would have on these rural communities.
Why rural? Well, rural communities for the last 20 years have not received any attention when it pertains to infrastructure, and they are as equal as us and any Belizean, and they deserve it. So we have embarked on spending a large portion of our budget in the rural communities. We shared a bit last year with the urban areas, and now we are shifting back to rural communities.
But with the upgrade of the Remate bypass, there's a need for increased police and traffic enforcement officers.
I'm not in charge of the police. That's a different department on its own. I wish them well, and I hope they do their job as efficiently as I think they will.
It does require more policing as well as presence of traffic enforcement officers. How is that planned and considered when these road developments are done?
We discuss these things in cabinet on a weekly basis, but our emphasis is to build the infrastructure. Right. And we give advice to the other ministries to take on their responsibilities. I really can't go further than that.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.